Abati, your take on this story?
Okay, yes, you know, there have been a series of meetings in the northern part of the country, just as leaders in the south have also been meeting. Before now, there was the meeting of the coalition of northern groups, which was attended by leaders from the north. What happened yesterday was a meeting of, you know, traditional rulers and religious leaders, the Northern Traditional Council at the Arewa House in Kaduna, under the chairmanship of the Sultan of Sokoto, who is both a traditional ruler and also the leader of the Muslim faithful in Nigeria. That meeting was attended also by security chiefs, Chief of Defense Staff, DG, DSS, all persons within the security space who had been invited to come and rub minds with the Northern Traditional Council as to the situation in the country. Now, it was also attended by governors and their representatives. In other words, it was a meeting of minds for Northern traditional rulers and religious leaders to review the state of the country. Now, this should not be surprising. Northern leaders have been meeting since 1959 to address the condition of the North within the Nigerian arrangement. And since that time, what have they been discussing? Majorly, they started discussing education, discussing the Nigerian arrangement and how the Nigerian arrangement can benefit everybody. But this particular meeting of the Northern Traditional Council is coming against a special background. At a period that Nigeria has transited from an APC government to another APC government, and at a moment of great economic hardship, deprivation, and despair in the country. And not surprisingly, in the general statement made by the Sultan of Sokoto, chairman of that occasion, he highlighted all of this. What are some of the points made by the Sultan reflecting a meeting of minds among northern leaders? One, that things are very hard in Nigeria. Things are not easy for everybody. He says the whole of Nigeria, and of course, especially in the north. And what are the issues he identified? Unemployment. 2, food crisis. 3, insecurity. And the fact that all of these issues, you know, have resulted in anger and frustration on the part of the people. The Sultan went further to now say that, well, against this background, is the traditional rulers and the religious leaders in the north especially, who have been calming the people down and telling them that, look, there is hope, things will improve. But that the situation is so bad that it's getting to a point that, you know, traditional and religious leaders in the north may not be able to calm the people down any further. And therefore, the Nigerian government has an obligation to address the frustration of the people, to address the anger of the people, to address the high level of poverty in the land, and to find jobs for our teeming youths. Okay, this is what everybody has been saying. So these are obvious issues, but amplified on the platform of the Northern Traditional Council. But the Sultan made a point that I think should be underlined. He said that, look, it's not that we lack solutions to problems in this country. It's good, we always come together, but the problem with Nigeria is that at the kind of forum that they had yesterday, people will leave the place with all those solutions. They will leave the solutions behind in the hall, and they will go to bed until there's another crisis. Olarotimi, playwright, you know, distinguished professor, had articulated this in one of his writings, in one of his books, which he titled Holding Talks. Nigerians are very good at holding talks. We hold conferences, seminars, but nothing comes after. And the Sultan made the point that, yes, all the suggestions collated yesterday will be passed on to government. But what is important is implementation. As in everything in Nigeria, implementation is always the problem. However, all the issues identified by the Northern Traditional Council and articulated by the Sultan these issues have been on the table. In the southern part of the country, people are talking about the same thing. The intelligentsia is talking about the same thing. Only last week, the Emir of Kano, His Royal Majesty Adobayero, the Emir of Kano, receiving in audience the First Lady of Nigeria, Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, emphasized the same concerns and told Mrs. Tinubu emphatically to tell her husband that his government must deal with the issues of insecurity and poverty and unemployment in the land. But the major point that I think the Sultan made yesterday also is that this is APC to APC government. But what is important is that we must find solutions to our problems so that the restive youths of Nigeria, whether in the north or the middle belt or in the south, do not refuse to be pacified again. Hunger is not a friend of the human system. Hunger can lead to anger. Anger can fuel frustration further. And that is why the Sultan says Nigeria is sitting on a keg of gunpowder. The government at all levels, federal and subnational, both have a responsibility to make sure that that keg of gunpowder does not explode. They say a word is enough for the
and that's what God is telling our Father in the Lord. If you decide to vote, if Tinubu wins, all of you are going into John. That is God has spoken. Just let it go live. Let it go live as spoken. Just we have said it. Let me say in English so that the world understands. Okay,
if Nigerians vote for APC,
Nigeria
will sink. In poverty, and the economy will be in shambles. If the government of APC continues, Nigeria will suffer extraordinary. I'm not in support of anybody. As a matter of fact, I don't vote. And I will never vote. I am telling you that we have never seen Archie before. Then this is when we now experience more Archie. We will be sick, the economy will be sick. I'm not saying anybody should like it.
And that's what God is telling our Father in the Lord. If you decide to vote, if Tinubu wins, all of you are going into John. That is God has spoken. Just let it go live. Let it go live as spoken. Just we have said it. Let me say in English so that the world understands. Okay,
if Nigerians vote for APC, Nigeria will sink. We will swallow in poverty, and the economy will be in shambles. If the government of APC continues, Nigeria will suffer extraordinary. I'm not in support of anybody. As a matter of fact, I don't vote. And I will never vote. I am telling you that we have never seen Archie before. Then this is when we now experience more Archie. We will be sick, the economy will be sick. I'm not saying anybody should like